I stood outside for a moment, staring at a picture-perfect two-story house. We just moved into a quaint little suburb, eager for a fresh start. The house I found was perfect for our needs, bright, airy, and spacious. The kitchen led to both a garage and a backyard, with a small ceramic pond for my koi fish. It felt like a dream, especially for my pup, Luna, a pit bull, who immediately took to the fair-sized yard. The neighborhood was quiet, and the neighbors kept to themselves, which suited my reclusive nature. Despite being somewhat isolated, the location seemed ideal for a new beginning. Moving in was exhausting, but Luna came first. We took a walk in the park across the street, which bordered a heavily wooded area along a creek. The park had a dark and creepy atmosphere, especially in the late afternoon. Returning home, we settled into bed for a nap. I wore headphones and sketched while Luna lay beside me. She suddenly turned her head to look at the dark bathroom, but the door was open, and no one was there. I pulled her close, removed my headphones, and fell asleep. We were abruptly awakened by the creak of the attic door echoing down the hall. Luna whimpered and growled, and I leapt out of bed to find the source of the noise. The attic door was at the end of the upstairs hall, but when I got there, I saw nothing unusual. I searched the house, but everything seemed normal. After another walk with Luna, we resumed unpacking. On our walk, I noticed people going about their day, busy living their lives, minding their own business. The first night in the house, around 2 a.m., we woke up to a loud crash downstairs. It sounded like an anvil dropping on the cement floor in the garage. I turned on the light, grabbed my aluminum bat, and ran downstairs. The garage door was wide open, and Luna was barking into the dark. I flicked on the light, but there was nothing out of the ordinary. Feeling spooked, I left the lights on and made tea, grabbed my favorite book, and we went back to bed. The rest of the week was spent unpacking and getting used to the new environment. Luna was carefree in her new yard, and the koi fish seemed happy in their pond. I hung a bell on a string for Luna to ring when she needed to go outside, a trick I taught her as a puppy. The bell was temporarily on the closet door in the upstairs hallway, until I installed a doggy door. I filled the house with my creature comforts, including an antique chess stand. To keep myself entertained, I set up a game and started playing against myself. The new studio was small but functional, and I was making good progress on a new project. I had to install a pet gate at the door to keep Luna from tracking paint everywhere. One morning, while organizing under the kitchen sink, Luna, lying next to me, started growling while facing the bottom of the staircase. Her demeanor became still and fearful. I ran my hand over her fur, as the bell on the door upstairs rang violently. We both waited silently until it stopped. I cautiously went upstairs with Luna trailing behind. We searched room to room but found nothing. Summoning my courage, I pulled down the attic door and climbed the steps with a flashlight. The darkness was terrifying, but I was ready to defend myself. Panning the attic, I found nothing unusual. Working late in the studio, I often finished around 3 a.m. One night, as it rained, I listened to music and worked, aware of Luna sleeping by the gate. Despite the eerie feeling of being watched, I continued. When I noticed Luna missing, I went downstairs to find her outside digging in the rain. I made a mental note to fill the hole in the morning. The next day, the doggy door was installed, and the bell was no longer needed. I began to suspect the house was haunted, which explained the great price. I decided to stay, rationalizing that it might be my imagination or Luna may be responding to my nerves. Even if it was haunted, it was our house now. There were several weird things about the house. I avoided the master bathroom altogether, keeping the door closed. It had a weird dark vibe and I didn't like showering in it, so I used the bath down the hall. Occasionally, I found the kitchen cabinets and the back door open. Chess pieces on the board would sometimes be lying down, which I attributed to Luna bumping the stand, until one day the queen went missing. I worried she had eaten it, and searched the house, finally finding it in the master bathroom. With Luna by my side, I quickly grabbed the chess piece and exited, closing the door behind me. Returning from grocery shopping, I found Luna digging in the same hole. I scolded her and filled the hole again. After dinner, we sat on the sofa watching an old black and white movie. Luna began to growl in the direction of the stairs. I tried to reassure her, but she remained visibly fearful. Using my phone, I recorded the room. The footage revealed a 6-foot-tall black opaque shadow standing at the bottom of the stairs, watching. Panicking, I turned on all the lights, grabbed my keys, and took Luna for a quick exit. No one believed the house was haunted, but now I had proof. A few hours later we returned to find the house quiet. The next day, a man in a cheap suit knocked on the door, asking about the previous resident. He claimed she had many outstanding debts. I told him to leave, but it unsettled me. Luna was digging in the same spot again. I filled the hole and went inside, but now, I saw specters, shadows, and heard random noises everywhere. Who was this woman, and where had she gone to? It rained all week. That night, Luna and I had dinner and opened a bottle of wine while watching TV. We fell asleep on the couch, but I woke to loud footsteps on the stairs. Luna and I sat quietly, listening. My blanket was on the floor by the steps. I went to investigate, but thunder clapped, and Luna cried out. Running to the kitchen, I suddenly felt pain and saw marks on my arm. I inspected myself in the mirror and saw more claw marks on my stomach, and a bite mark on my back. Panicking, stricken with fear, I searched for Luna. The rain obscured my view of the garden, but I saw Luna digging. I opened the back door and saw that the koi pond was smashed, and the fish were dead, strewn all over the yard. I stood in the rain and cried. Luna drug a green sheet through the doggy door, something she had dug up. What else was buried in that hole? I retrieved a shovel from the garage, determined to find out. I dug in the rain but found nothing. Feeling mental, I went back to the kitchen and started to dry off. Luna and I stood there listening to the sound of running and stomping upstairs. That's it. We are so out of here. I grabbed my keys, Luna, and fled the house. We found a motel, and I told Luna that we wouldn't be going back. We crawled into bed and finally slept peacefully. The rain had stopped, completely.